All right, welcome everyone to this deep dive all about Quantum R82. This one's for you, our checkpoint sales pros, because we know you need to get up to speed fast.
Exactly. We're talking about way more than just a simple upgrade here. R82 is truly in a league of its own, addressing the ever-changing security landscape and what our customers really need today.
Right, and we've got all those technical documents, marketing materials, solution briefs, you name it. But we know you don't have time to dig through all of that.
Yeah, so we've done the heavy lifting for you. We've pulled out the need-to-know info, all those golden nuggets, so you can be confident talking to your clients about R82.
Perfect. So let's get down to business.
You know, what's really interesting about R82 is it's not just a bunch of random upgrades. Checkpoint has strategically designed it to tackle 4 major security challenges that organizations are grappling with today.
Okay, let's unpack those 4 challenges, starting with threat sophistication. I mean, let's face it, the bad guys are getting smarter, and their attacks are becoming more complex every day.
Absolutely. We're seeing over 1,800 attacks per week, and that number's only going up. What's particularly concerning is the rise of zero-day threats, attacks that exploit vulnerabilities that haven't even been discovered yet.
So how does R82 help organizations stay ahead of these evolving threats?
This is where the AI muscle comes in. R82 introduces 4 new AI engines, bringing the total to a whopping 55, each designed to detect different types of threats, even those hiding in encrypted traffic.
55 AI engines. That's a serious security force. Can you give me an example of how one of these new engines works in practice?
Sure, let's talk about Threat Cloud Graph. It's like having a digital detective that can see connections that humans might miss. It analyzes massive amounts of data to identify relationships and patterns, allowing it to predict attacks before they even happen.
So it's not just reacting to known threats, it's actually anticipating new ones.
Yeah.
Pretty impressive. But what about those attacks that manage to slip through the cracks?
Well, that's where another new AI engine, Kronos, comes in. It's designed to detect malicious activity that might not be immediately obvious. Think of it as a security camera that can spot suspicious behavior, even if it's not an immediate threat.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've got Threat Cloud Graph for prediction and Kronos for detection. What about prevention?
R82 has you covered there, too. Remember how we talked about the rise of zero-day threats? Well, R82's AI engines can block 99.8% of them, a number that should make any security professional sleep a little easier.
That's a seriously impressive stat. But tell me more about these new AI engines. The outline mentioned deep brand clustering. What is that all about?
Deep brand clustering is all about protecting you from brand impersonation attacks. You know, those phishing scams that try to trick you into thinking you're on a legitimate website? This engine uses deep learning to understand which websites are the real deal and which ones are imposters. It's like having a brand bodyguard that can spot a fake a mile away.
So R82 is tackling the challenge of threat sophistication head on. But what about the second challenge, data center agility? In today's fast-paced world, security can't be a bottleneck to innovation.
You're absolutely right, and that's why R82 has been designed with agility in mind. It introduces a new virtual system architecture that allows you to spin up virtual firewalls in seconds.
Seconds, seriously. That's a game changer for organizations that need to move quickly.
It is. And to make things even easier, there are self-service security features that allow DevOps teams to automate policy updates without having to go through the security team every time.
So you're saying it removes friction and empowers developers to move fast without compromising security. That's a win-win.
Exactly. It's about striking that balance between speed and security.
All right, challenge number 3. Operational complexity. I know a lot of IT teams are struggling to manage and scale their security infrastructure. How does R82 address this?
Checkpoint has made some significant strides in simplifying security management with R82. For starters, they've streamlined firewall clustering, a process that can be quite complex. We're talking 40% fewer steps, which translates to significant time savings and reduced risk of errors.
That's a big deal for busy IT teams. What else is new in terms of management?
You know, they've also introduced some new features to Quantum Maestro, their centralized management platform. The new web UI and APIs make it much easier to manage and configure your firewalls from a single pane of glass.
So it's all about simplifying complexity and giving IT teams more control.
Absolutely. R82 is all about making security less of a headache and more of an enabler.
Okay, let's talk about the elephant in the room, the 4th challenge, quantum hacking. I have to admit, this one still feels a bit like science fiction to me. Are we really at the point where we need to worry about quantum computers breaking our encryption?
It's not a threat today, but it's a threat for tomorrow. Hackers are already stealing encrypted data with the intention of decrypting it later using quantum computers.
So it's not a matter of if but when.
Exactly. But the good news is that R82 is already prepared for this future threat. It introduces NIST-certified quantum-ready VPN encryption, which is designed to withstand even the most powerful quantum computers.
NIST certified, what does that mean?
NIST stands for the National Institute of Standards and Technology. They set standards for encryption algorithms and other security technologies. Having a NIST-certified solution means that it meets the highest security standards and is built to withstand future threats, including quantum hacking.
So R82 is future-proofing our data. That's a pretty big deal.
It is. It's about being proactive and protecting your data today from the threats of tomorrow.
Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. We've talked about the 4 major challenges that R82 addresses. We're going to unpack a whole bunch of features for everyone listening.
And these aren't just any features.
Oh no, these are going to make a real difference.
Real difference for your customers and anyone using these products, really.
We're talking about.
Let's see, we've got simplified clustering.
With Elastic XL,
We've got VS Next for unified management.
HTTPS inspection gets a huge boost. It's a lot to cover.
It really is.
But it's all about raising that bar for network security.
Exactly.
And we're going to break down exactly how.
Because it's not just about adding features.
Right, it's about solving those real problems.
Right. The pain points that security pros face every single day.
R82 is all about making things
Simpler.
faster, more adaptable.
So let's start with Elastic XL.
Ah, yes.
Oh.
Clustering simplified.
Because in the past, clustering security gateways was,
A bit of a headache.
to say the least,
You had multiple management objects.
lots of manual configuration.
Elastic XL changes all that.
How so?
One management object for the entire cluster.
So instead of all those individual components,
You're basically treating the cluster.
like one big happy entity.
Exactly. And it makes management so much simpler.
I bet it does.
And because everything is synchronized automatically across all those cluster members.
You're talking about configuration software updates.
The whole 9 yards?
You eliminate that risk of misconfiguration.
Big time.
Consistency and reliability go way up.
And that means stronger security overall.
Now, VS Next also seems to be about
Unification.
bringing together the world of virtual and physical security gateways.
You got it. It's like building a bridge.
A single unified management interface. Consistent APIs across the board.
No more juggling separate tools for virtual versus physical.
It's all about a smoother experience for admins.
But how does that translate to better security?
Well, you get this incredible visibility across your entire network security posture
So you can spot those threats.
and respond to them no matter where they pop up.
And those consistent APIs you mentioned.
They're the key to automation.
Less manual work, fewer errors.
Exactly.
This sounds perfect for anyone running a hybrid environment.
It really is the game changer.
Now let's talk about something that impacts pretty much everyone.
HTTPS inspection.
What's new in R82?
Checkpoint has really focused on performance, simplicity, and automation here.
They've redesigned the whole deployment process.
It's incredibly user-friendly.
And the performance improvements.
They're significant.
So you don't have to sacrifice speed for security anymore.
Not at all.
Tell me more about these performance boosts.
Well, there's this new mode called client-side fail. It's like a smart filter that automatically detects and bypasses connections with client-side issues.
Like what?
Things like certificate pinning.
Ah, I see. So this prevents unnecessary connection failures.
And keeps things running smoothly for users.
Happy users, happy admins.
Exactly. And then there's a learning mode.
Sounds interesting.
It helps you gradually roll out HTTPS inspection, gather insights about your network traffic.
So you can kind of anticipate potential problems.
Exactly. No more scrambling to fix things after they break.
That's huge.
It really is.
So, but you also mentioned DNS protection. What's new there?
DNS security got a major upgrade in R82. Checkpoint has added some advanced protection against those nasty NXNS attacks.
NXNS attacks refresh my memory.
They're a type of DNS poisoning attack that can redirect users to malicious websites. It's like giving someone bad directions. And they've added support for DNS over HTTPS inspection.
Adding another layer of security and privacy.
Exactly. And they've improved the granularity of DNS configuration. You have more control over how those DNS queries are handled. And they've added more detailed DNS security stats to the SmartView dashboard, so you have greater visibility into your DNS traffic and any potential threats.
We've covered a lot of ground already, but there are still some exciting features to explore.
Yeah. Let's talk about multi-domain environments. Many organizations use these to segment their networks, separating sensitive data or different business units for added security. It's like having separate compartments within a ship. If one gets breached, the others are still protected.
That makes sense. But I imagine managing multiple security domains can get pretty complex.
It can be. But R82 brings some welcome relief for IT teams by making multi-domain management much smoother. For instance, upgrades are now twice as fast for multi-domain setups.
So less downtime and faster implementation. Always
Right.
a good thing. What else has changed?
Well, they've also added the option to clone domains, which is a huge time saver.
So if you have a complex configuration that you need to replicate, you don't have to start from scratch each time.
Exactly. It's like using a cookie cutter to create multiple copies of the same design. Much more efficient than doing everything by hand. This not only saves time, but also reduces the potential for errors.
That's a big win for efficiency and consistency.
Yeah.
Anything else that stands out in terms of multi-domain management?
R82 also enhances hyperflow multi-core processing, a technology that accelerates traffic analysis. Think of it like adding more lanes to a highway so that traffic can flow more smoothly. Now, this enhanced processing also supports CIFS and UDP traffic.
Okay, for those of us who aren't network engineers, can you explain what CIFS and UDP traffic are?
Sure, CIFS is used for sharing files on a network. Think about accessing files on a shared drive in your office. And UDP is commonly used for real-time applications like video conferencing and online gaming, where speed is more important than guaranteed delivery.
So R82 can now analyze these types of traffic much faster, allowing it to detect and block threats more effectively.
Exactly. It's about having complete visibility and control over all the different types of data flowing through your network.
Okay, so faster upgrades, easier cloning, and improved traffic processing. Those are some compelling reasons to consider R82 for multi-domain environments.
Absolutely. And let's not forget about site-to-site VPN resiliency with public cloud providers.
Right. More and more organizations are relying on public cloud services like AWS Azure and GCP. How does R82 help them maintain secure connections to these clouds?
Well, with R82, your VPN connections to these cloud providers are automatically adjusted to any changes on the cloud side. This ensures continuous connectivity and minimizes disruptions even if the cloud provider makes updates to their infrastructure.
So it's like having a self-adjusting bridge that stays connected no matter what's happening on either side.
Exactly. It's about building resilience and flexibility into your network architecture, ensuring that your connections to the cloud remain stable and secure.
What else is new in R82 for threat prevention?
Well, they haven't forgotten about web security.
Oh, good.
R82 includes full support for the HTTP3 protocol over QUIC.
HTTP3. I keep hearing about that.
It's the next generation of the web, basically, and it offers some serious performance and security improvements.
Also,
Well, it uses QUIC, which is built on top of UDP, and that offers several advantages, including reduced latency, improved congestion control, and built-in encryption.
so checkpoint supporting HTTP3 means.
Their security solutions are compatible with this new standard and can protect against any vulnerabilities that might come up.
And we're just scratching the surface here.
Oh, yeah.
There's so much more to R82.
AI-powered security engines.
Let's talk AI.
AI-powered security, it's a game changer.
R82 seems to be all about it.
It really is. Checkpoint has incorporated some amazing AI engines that completely transform threat detection and prevention.
I feel like AI is finally delivering on its promise in cybersecurity.
Absolutely. R82 is packed with these AI engines that can analyze massive data sets and use sophisticated algorithms to catch even the most advanced attacks, those zero-day attacks that used to slip through.
Okay, that's impressive. But what does that actually mean for, let's say, blocking those sneaky zero-day attacks?
Okay, imagine this. You're sitting across from a client, and you can confidently say, R82 can block 99.8% of zero-day attacks. Mic drop.
Wow, 99.8%. That's incredible.
Yeah.
But how do these AI engines actually work? Give us the inside scoop.
Sure, let's start with Threat Cloud Graph. It's like a massive security web that maps out all those connections between different data points. It's pretty amazing, actually. Using AI, R82 analyzes these connections, and it identifies attack patterns even before they can spread.
So it's kind of like R82's playing chess, always thinking a few moves ahead.
You got it. And then there's Kronos, another game changer. Kronos is all about behavior analysis over time. Think of it like a time-lapse security camera. It can detect even the smallest changes, those tiny, subtle things that traditional security tools might totally miss. So we've got these incredible AI engines working tirelessly behind the scenes. Now, how do we translate all this into something our clients will get excited about?
Right, that's the million-dollar question. How do we make this resonate with them? Because it's all very impressive, but what's the real impact for our clients?
It comes down to peace of mind. You can tell your clients that with R82, their brand, their data, their entire operation is protected against even the most sophisticated attacks.
I see. So it's that feeling of security, knowing they're covered no matter what comes their way.
Yeah.
Okay, that makes sense. So we've got AI covered. Now let's talk about something that sounds a bit like science fiction quantum computing. R82 includes something called post-quantum cryptography.
That's right. It may sound like something straight out of a movie, but trust me, the threat from quantum computing is real and it's growing fast.
Okay, I'll admit it sounds a bit futuristic. I mean, quantum computers aren't quite mainstream yet, are they? So why should our clients be worried about this now?
It all boils down to the harvest now, decrypt later attack. Think about it. Hackers are stealing data, tons of it right now, and holding on to it. They're waiting for those powerful quantum computers to become readily available.
Oh, wow. I hadn't thought about it like that. So the information we consider secure today might be completely vulnerable tomorrow.
Exactly. And this is where R82 steps in, ready to save the day with its quantum-safe VPN. R82 is way ahead of the curve here, ensuring that sensitive data stays protected today, tomorrow, and long into the future.
So R82 is future-proof, safeguarding our clients against threats that haven't even fully emerged yet. It's like having an insurance policy for the future of their data. I like it.
Exactly.
We've covered so much ground. It's a lot to absorb. How do our listeners even begin to wrap their heads around all of this and figure out what R82 means for their organization?
Every organization has its own unique challenges and priorities. The first step is to identify your pain points. Which of the 4 challenges we discussed resonate most with your organization?
So if an organization is struggling to keep up with the speed of DevOps, they might want to focus on R82's data center agility features.
Exactly. Once you've identified your priorities, you can start to explore how R82 can specifically address those needs.
I think we've covered just about everything there is to cover when it comes to R82. This has been a fantastic deep dive, and I feel like we've really unearthed some incredible features.
We've only just scratched the surface, but I think we've highlighted the key features and benefits that will resonate with your clients.
So, as we wrap up this deep dive, what are the most important things our listeners should remember when they're talking to clients about R82? What's the key message that will help them close those deals?
The key message is simple. R82 is more than an upgrade. It's a complete transformation. It gives you unparalleled security, all powered by AI. It's designed for simplicity and built to adapt to the future.
It's about empowering businesses to innovate and grow without limitations, knowing that their security is rock solid.
Exactly. R82 isn't just about protection. It's about opening up new possibilities.
Well, there you have it, everyone. Everything you need to confidently position R82 as the ultimate security solution. Now go out there and make those connections.